fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. So loud as the hours pass, we're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild. The moonlight, summer sky, it was the best we ever had. And we'll stay young forever, we'll never have regrets. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild. Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout.
Good morning, beautiful people. I see Jennifer in the chat. I see Marty, Love the Land Homestead. So you change your name from Love the Land every day, right? I probably asked you that already. Yeah, the kids. In my story, I actually have one of my kids helping me out, which was amazing. I love it when the kids get involved with me and do the gardening stuff. Awesome, and I'm guessing you're back by now. Yes, and I was telling the story to Marilyn this morning because she's away from home and she can't make it to my live stream, and it took me like a good 8 minutes just to tell her the story from point A to point B. So if I have a few questions, it's gonna be a little story that's gonna take probably all the live stream. Well, it's not a boring long story, I promise. Okay, cool. So, I think it's everywhere in Canada, mostly. Anyway, it is here in New Brunswick where all the bottles, the cans that you return for recycling, you get the full deposit now. It used to be like 5 cents for a can. Just a sec, I hear something in the background. Let me just check. Okay, I had it open on my second screen. So it used to be like 5 cents for a can and like 10 cents for a bottle. We drink a lot of wine. My daughter is almost 20 years old now, so every once in a while she'll grab a few drinks and we'll play cards or we'll just have a little chat in the living room and have a few drinks. I say the whole family, but I mean, not the kids, obviously. They won't drink or they might have pops or something like that. So we ended up having a lot of cans and a lot of bottles to bring back for refund. So usually my oldest son is taking care of all the cans and bottles, and he's the one putting everything in bags. And he goes help the father-in-law every once in a while, and it's on the father-in-law's way. What's that? Oh, cool. Yes. Sorry, Sal send me a message. So usually the father-in-law would pick up Anthony with all the cans and you would take the whole profit and it would make about $50-$60. But it's been a while. The father-in-law has been out west for about a year and a half now, maybe. And since everything doubled up and I kind of need the money and I'm kind of the one that pays for the deposit anyway, I figured I wanted to have the money from the bottles and cans. But since Anthony helped and it was kind of part of the deal, you needed to have a share. So the deal we had was I will go and bring it there, and since everything doubled, we'll take half and half each. So for him, it was the same thing as usual, and for me, it was going to give me a little bit of money that I could go and spend at the nursery. So I sold the bottles, and I had for $183 worth of bottles and cans. People in Ontario never charge a deposit. It was a huge shock to see those charges here. Most people lose that deposit because they won't drive 45 minutes to Dalhousie and back to the they put them in recycle. Same thing at the hospital. We don't have anything there's no recycling done at the hospital. Can you imagine? We're forced to do it at home, but the hospital where they have huge amount of papers, and I get that some have confidential information. Those I get, but we get so many papers during the day that gets printed out with nothing on it. It will get printed saying your report is empty. You can't use that paper for anything else. You can't use that sheet. It just goes straight to garbage. So that being said, I had about give or take $100 to go to the nursery, and I'm looking for a male sea buckthorn shrub. The kids wanted to come, the two youngest one, because I had the nursery in Tyded, which is about 35 minutes from here. They have a cat, and the cat is very, very spoiled cat. Like, I mean, every time we go, it's a female. She follows us everywhere. The kids pet her, and they enjoy it. Yes. We get money back at beer and liquor stores in Ontario. Awesome. I emptied lots of beer bottle at 60th birthday party. Oh, well, happy birthday, Dave. So I go to the nursery. I called twice. Twice they told me that they had the male sea buckthorn because I'm looking for a male. First time they told me they were supposed to get it shipped to them, and it was only arriving on Thursday, which was last week, so it would have been last Thursday. And when I got there, they didn't have it. So I ended up buying some tomatoes because I didn't have enough planted here. Plus, the ones I planted, I didn't really have much time to care for them, with the greenhouse being down and all that stuff. So I ended up buying some Roma tomatoes, some celery, and what else? So I was looking for those strawberries with the pink flowers because I purchased one last year, and the kids kind of enjoy them. I mean, of course, it starts spreading a little bit, a few shoots, but I purchased, it was 25 plants, not just the roots. I mean, their roots with the plant is actually already out with for $30. So I bought that. And the guy told me before I left, he's like, go take a walk in the greenhouses, and when you come back, I will have that male sea buckthorn coming in for you by the end of the week. Like, I'm not letting you go until I make you happy, and you were supposed to have it, you don't have it. So before I left, he's like, okay, I promise you I have 4 coming, 2 males, 2 females by the end of the week. So next weekend you can come and I'll have them. I don't know when I'm going to find the time to go, but anyway. Good morning, Thomas. Here they charge for every juice bottle, water bottle, pop, everything. Ontario never charged deposit. Yeah, if you return it though, you get your money back. And it's a good fundraiser for kids when they want to do like sports activities and things like that. And, you can go for a walk on the street and find so many empty bottles that you can actually make money out of that. Because, like you said, people don't bother bringing them back. That's how I made money when I was a kid. Every March I'd go around the lake and get $300-400 in cans and bottles and pay for my gas for my boat. Nice. Oh, okay, friend of yours. Oh, well, happy birthday to him. So I left there with a few tomatoes, celeries, and strawberries. I decided to go to the other nursery because the one in Charlotte, Mountain Brook, I could see on their Facebook page that they had an activity going on for kids where they would teach kids to garden and all that kind of stuff. I just found out when I got there that it was organized by them, but it was not at their place. So we kind of got there for that activity, but it didn't happen. But anyway, when I got there, I posted a picture on my community post, the community tab. And if you're wondering why I had to buy it, it's a King Pascal or Queen Pascal or giant Pascal celery. For those of you wondering, Pascal is the name of my deceased brother who passed away by suicide in 2011. So I couldn't leave that celery there, obviously. I want to grow it, and I want to take good care of it, and I'm hoping that it survives and does very well. The lady had a female sea buckthorn for me set aside. Um, it was, well, I didn't need a female. I wanted a male, but she's like, well, I put it aside for you anyway. I'm like, okay, I'll take it, because I'm still going to need more than one at some point. I ended up getting uh, peppers, and I think that's about it. Then the kids wanted to go to the farmer's market, and that's where it gets interesting. There's a lady that lives well, it's now the same municipality because they regrouped all the village into bigger entities here in New Brunswick. So it's part of Bois Joli, which in French means like cute wood, I guess. We hate that name. Everybody hates that name. I don't know where it comes from, but anyway. It's kind of the neighbor village. There's a lady there that has, it's not really, well, I don't know if we can call it a business. She has her own food forest, and she allows people to go and, she'll sell a few things here and there. She plants a lot of stuff that she sells for people at a very cheap cost. She goes to the farmer market at this time of year and she sells a few plants. And the lady's sweet. She kind of reminds me of Jane, the Jane that we saw at the conference. She's an elderly lady that's just loves gardening. And when I saw her at the farmer's market, I asked her, because last year I wanted to have some kiwis. And she wasn't sure which ones were the males and the females. And she's like, I don't want to sell you any until I know for sure what I'm selling you, right? And when I went there last year, it was like early spring. It was too early to know which ones were producing fruits and which ones were not. So she's like, I'll try to find out by next year, and I'll let you know. You can come then and grab a few ones. So I saw her at the farmer's market, and I asked her the question if she had those kiwis figured out. So she's like, yeah, well, you know what? I should be here until 1 p.m. because that's when the farmer's market is done. I'm going home after, so you can come see me this afternoon, and I should be home, and I'll gladly give you a little tour of everything again, and you can get some stuff if you want. I'm like, okay, well, I'm looking for the, she was telling me about those chums. Chums is an hybrid of plums and cherries. Cherries, plums, chums. So she's like, yeah, sure. You come and I'll sell them to you for like $15 each, which is kind of a very, very good price. So I go there. I'll just grow you one. You will probably get a male plant faster. I have, I think, 8 plants growing. Yeah, but I don't know the variety if it's a male or a female, and I don't know how to recognize them. I have some seeds here as well. I don't think you can see, but anyway, sea buckthorn berries. I'm waiting for the corn to come up, then I can finish planting the Three Sisters garden. Then my garden is full. Time to sit in the hammock while I water and watch it grow. Awesome. I have to plant most of the stuff today. Although the tarp did a very good job. I'm very happy with what it did. The only thing is, I might have to, I don't know, I might have to keep the tarps there, here and there, like a few spots, just to stop the weeds from growing. But even then, like, it doesn't really matter. It did a very good job. But I did my strawberries. I planted them last night with my son. He really helped me out. It was kind of cool. I put them like 16 inches apart, and I ended up fitting the 25 on one aisle with the cover tarp, and just made the holes for the strawberries. I think we're all done planning, but you never know with Elisa. She may have something more in mind. I'm like that too. So I arrived there at the lady's place. Um, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take those two chums. She's like, okay, like you sure $30 is good? It's not too expensive. I'm like, are you kidding me? I would pay $50 for those at Walmart, and she's selling me two for 30. So I started walking around. I'm like, oh, you have currants growing there. She's like, yeah, they're probably red currants because that's all I have here. I don't have any of the black ones and any of the white ones, but I don't want to have them there. They're not supposed to grow there. She's like, you want them? Yes. She's like, take them all, dig them out, take them home. I don't want to have them here anymore. I'm giving them to you. I'm like, okay, sure. So I ended up digging them up. I had like 6 of them, but if you know the way the currents work, if they touch the ground, they will root. And they will start rooting in the soil, go deeper and deeper. So those 6 plants or shrubs ended up being like 10. So I ended up going home with 10 red currants. And then I was walking around and she's like, oh, I'm supposed to have yellow raspberries here, but they're not supposed to grow in the aisle here. I'm just going to cut them with the lawnmower, I guess. She looks at me. She's like, you want yellow raspberries? Yes. So I ended up going home with like 6, 7 plants of yellow raspberries, which was kind of awesome. And then I was looking around and she's like, I don't know. You would need to take cuttings from the kiwis earlier in the spring and try to get them to make roots, right? But I think I see one like shoot there from the tree. It seems to be underground. Maybe you have roots on there. So I looked and it did have roots. She's like, well, just take it. I'm giving it to you. I'm like, really? Like I came here to buy it. She's like, no. I'm not going to do anything with that. You take it. If it suits you and you can get the kiwi plant tree out of that, go ahead. I'm like, oh, cool. Well, thank you. So I was going home with a free kiwi, free red currants, and free yellow raspberries. And then as I was about to leave, she's like, oh my, what are those? She had a bunch of trays full of small little trees. She's like, I planted that last year, and I don't remember the name. She's like, I think they're called something in French. I don't remember the name. And then I looked, and they're called quince. Quince, like what I'm putting down in the chat. Yeah, free plants are good. Yeah, and I didn't want to abuse lady. I mean, she was just looking to get rid of some stuff. So, she was happy that I was cleaning her aisles, and I was just happy to have free plants. She's like, I don't remember the name. I'm not sure if that's what it's called, but it's giving like edible fruits that looks kind of like yellow pear apple or something like that. So I looked, and it is just that. So I ended up coming with one of those trees for free as well. I told her next time I go, I will have more money and I will buy some. She's got some asparagus growing, and it's so cool. Let me just stop the cam for a sec. She's got a bunch of plants growing all together: grapes, raspberries, blackberries, apple trees, plum trees, cherries. She's got it all, and she's got her asparagus growing like right in the middle of nowhere. And she's got a bunch of flowers, a bunch of pollen, like for pollinators. It's so cool. I that's what I want to have here. The only difference is I don't want to have flowers I can eat. I just want to have stuff that I can actually eat. But I'm willing to sacrifice the front of the house for a few flowers for pollinators like rose bush. Yeah, rose bush. That would be a good one. My girlfriend wants me to plant something beautiful in front of the house because the kids they'll play soccer or they'll play with any balls. And the ball rolls down and then it goes in the street and she has to go and get it. And she doesn't want the kids, I mean, the older ones can go, but it's always a danger in the street. The cars go fast and we don't want the ball going um, in the street and being a danger for kids. So she wants me to plant something there to stop the ball from rolling down. So rose bush would be a very, very good option, and those are very easy to propagate. I just have to find the right kind of bush. Just here to say hi, hit the like button, everyone, even if the subject you are talking about is very interesting, Remy. Well, I already gave you the smaller version, Marilyn, but thank you for stopping by and thank you for the thumbs up. And yes, don't forget the thumbs up, everyone. It used to work when I did that. I'm just wondering, okay, if I remove virtual background, let's see, is there, I'm supposed to be able to do this, and it's supposed to do something on screen. It did that the other day. I don't know why it's not doing it anymore. It could be, I don't know, it could be a setting somewhere. Hotkeys, layout. No. Share video, audio, avatar. I don't know. It could have been something that we're trying and they stopped. Peonies are my favorite flower plants, but they are fussy. They hate too much sun. They had a fit when I moved their bucket outside in the sun. I have 2 of them growing in front of the house already, but they're right next to the house. So after around 2 p.m. in the afternoon, they're not hit by the sun anymore. And then my day wasn't over. Cell sends me a message. He's like, hey, you want some free plum trees? I have a few ones here if you want them. Just come dig them up. Sure. I'll go get some plum trees. So I went there. He had 3. One of them it should survive because plum trees, you can just put a branch like a cutting in the ground, even if it's just a stick, and it should roots and take off. So I'm hoping that it survives. But he gave me 3, and one of them had like a broken root. Hello, Darren. Good morning. Yes, going very, very, very well. How about you? So I ended up with 3 plum trees. And my brother wanted to have one. So I'm like, okay, I have 3. I'll go give you one. No problem. So I spent like an hour with my brother. He was working in the garden. He did an awesome job with the strawberries. He started planting the potatoes. That's actually something I have to do today with my potatoes, the ones Angie gave me. I didn't buy any potatoes from the store this year. But, I'm always up for trying new things, and I have the purple potatoes, which is kind of cool in my opinion. So I gave him one of the plum tree, and then he's like, I'm going to put him there where I have this pear. It was a tree that he purchased from the Superstore, and it was grafted with pear and cherries. And he had like the 2 pollinators on the same tree, but according to him, from what he says, the pollinating part died. So all he has is the root, like half the tree being cherry tree with no pollinators and half the tree being pear tree with no pollinators. I'm like, just leave it there and buy cherry tree. And buy a pear tree. He's like, no, 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 I'm just going to start from scratch. He wants to order from Pépinière Ancestrale in Quebec next year and have everything coming in from there. I did that, and all my trees are doing great. They're taking their time to establish, but after a year of establishing, they are starting to grow now. Um, so I'm like, okay, well, let's dig it out, and I'll bring it home. So he's like, okay, if you want to take it, I'm like, I'm just gonna put them like next to my pear trees. If it's half pear, half cherry, it's gonna pollinate something, and something's gonna grow. And even had pears last year, he just thinks that the pollinating part, like the male part of the pear, died. But I don't think there's a male and female in pears and cherries. I have some cherry trees here, and I have some pear trees here. So it's just gonna, fertilize each other, I guess. So I ended up with one of those as well. So today I have to finish planting in my greenhouse. I have some tomato plants, some peppers, some celery. I forgot that I bought a few cucumbers plants as well. I'm gonna have to plant those. I already planted my small kiwi tree. I have one grape to plant. It's pretty cool because I have so many things growing right now. It's so much fun. It's so amazing. And to think that I came home to plant the strawberries and my son actually came out to help me. I'm proud that he was interested, and obviously he was interested in growing the strawberries. But he wanted to spend some time with me, and I said, I have a bunch of stuff to plant before I can spend time like playing. We purchased a football, and he just likes throwing the football, and it's so much fun. We chat, and he enjoys it, and I enjoy it. But he helped me, probably thinking we were going to have time to play last night. We didn't, but I'm hoping to be able to go and finish planting those things in the morning and maybe in the afternoon. I have to go hair graft on my dad's apple tree as well. So, yeah. That's not it. Where did I put that? It reminds me that I have to go and do that. Hopefully it's in my bedroom because I can't find it here. Okay. Oh, did I? So my incubator is kind of acting up a little bit. Not too much, but just enough. I only have one cherry tree. It was tiny stem last year at Walmart. It's huge now. It's self-pollinating. That's awesome. It's always fun to just a sec. So it's always fun to have something like that growing self-pollinating, and especially when you buy it for, well, it's not really cheap anymore, but you think it's gonna die. Sorry, I think it's gonna die and it survives. That's always pretty awesome. Going to be another sore day for me finish picking up the cedar post and keep expanding the cow field. Yeah, that would be. Let's hope you can finish it up. I saw the posts yesterday. Like, you have huge posts. If you can hair graft a branch of plum for me, let me know. I'll pay you. You don't have a plum. I don't have a plum tree yet. Heck, I hardly have any fruit trees. The plum trees, apparently you don't need to hair graft them. You can just take a branch and plant it straight in the soil, and they should take off. Um, let's just let them grow a little bit bigger because they're small. They don't really have many branches yet. It's mostly just like one stalk and like two small branches about this big. So I can't really graft anything on it yet. But if it starts growing properly, I should be able to hook you up. I'll take one branch and plant it in the soil and see what happens. I paid $12.98 at Walmart. Oh, nice. So you purchased like the small ones, right? Like they're just like tiny stock. Yeah, those get very big. I bought it was in high bush cranberry last year from, I think it was from Walmart, and it seemed to have died off, but there's some new shoots coming from the roots. So I'm going to leave it there and let it grow. It means there's still life in it. It's about 3 feet tall already from a tiny green piece. Didn't even have bark. I'm the most excited for that. Nice. Well, if it's growing and it's surviving, that's awesome. I hope that the hair graft thing works because I would have so many beautiful apple trees coming in. And the fact that even my brother is starting to get interested into that. My dad wants me to graft the apple tree he has at home. It was an apple tree that my brother started from seeds. He took a seed from an apple, from doing like the wet paper towel method, planted the tree inside, and he planted it outside when it was about 1.5 feet tall. And it's been, well, probably around 10 years now. There's no flowers on it. Well, there was no flowers on it last year. There's obviously no apples growing, but I'm like, if I can graft it, it should be good to go after. So I'm going to go and graft a few branches. There's a street just 2 minutes away from here where there's a yellow white apple growing, and that's what my dad wants to have. So he's like, I'm going to cut down the apple tree if I don't have any good apples on it. And not knowing what kind of apple it's going to get because it's coming from seeds, right? Make sure to scrap some bark off and use rooting powder. There's someone I know that lives not too far from here that asked me to go. Well, I asked her if I could go, and she said that I could go and grab any plum tree I would find in the part where they don't mow the lawn and all that stuff. It's not really their property, but they're just throwing off the branches they're cutting on that side. I would go there and get a few ones again, but the problem is they're infected with the black knot fungus. So I don't really want to go there again and bring that home. I'm already afraid that I'm going to lose some cherry trees and plum trees that I have in front of the house. I'm leaving them there because it's too late now. It's already in the soil. It's really slowing down the growth of the trees, though. But yeah, if I can go grab those apple trees and bring them to my dad, hopefully he'll be happy and leave the apple tree there. But you should see now, like, start from tiny little seed. It's about, well, I don't think I can reach the top of the tree now, but it's like a big bundle of branches. Like, they never prune the tree, and it's probably one of the reasons why it's not doing much, right? It's just looking to grow and grow and grow. So as long as you don't cut any branches, it might not even go into flowers. Well, it should in theory, but I mean, it's taking longer. Well, that was the story of yesterday. Long story short, I got about anywhere between 6 and 10 free red currants, around 6 free yellow raspberries. I got 2 chum trees for $15 each. I got a quince for free, a female kiwi for free, 3 plum trees for free that I exchanged, one for that hybrid of cherry and pear. Well, it's not really an hybrid. They were both. I'm here watching, just filming, so can't comment. Awesome. That's okay, Lynn. I'm almost done anyway. I was about to say that I didn't want to come on for too long because I have a lot of stuff to do. But thank you for stopping by. Really appreciate it. I am so far behind on all my friends' videos. And you stopped going live, Len. I was looking forward for your next live stream. If you have any idea if you're going to start again or not. Every second week, I have an online class about foraging on Wednesdays. But the other second week, I'm just looking forward for your live streams. Kind of miss that. It's a good way to know what's going on with my friends, I find. Of course, we chat and like everything on a daily basis. But it's fun to be able to see you and like to see everyone. Same with Annie, Darren when he goes live. And Mike and Angie, Tracy when he does his live streams, just to see you guys, it's different than just watching your videos. I find there was a big black thing all over the trees here last year, and leaves had black spots on them. This year, the huge maple tree don't have any leaves, and leaves are beautiful, so the fungus may be fine. The black knot fungus is not something you can get rid of. Apparently, it goes in the ground, in the soil, and it can last up to 15, 20 years. There's a few things you can do to the soil, but by doing so, you're compromising that area for a good 5 to 10 years. The tree might still grow fruits. The fruits are still edible. Everything is fine. But if I cut those trees, I have to burn them. And any little tiny spore falling from that black knot fungus can infect everything along the way. So you have to be very extra careful. It's slowing the growth of the fruit tree. It's draining a lot of energy from the tree. It doesn't really kill them, but on the long run of draining the energy, it could eventually kill them, but it could take a while. Let's say a tree can last up to 50 years. They might last 45 years instead. And yeah, I can't wait to show the video on the mushroom grow kit that I have. You should see the mushrooms on that thing. They're huge. They're growing like it seems like every time we walk in the kitchen, they're growing. They're bigger. They're bigger than they were the day before. Like the last time we went in. I looked up a few recipes, and I asked a few people on the foraging class what to do, and they all said pretty much the same thing. Basically, salt, pepper, butter, fry them up, and try them that way to know if you like the flavor of the mushroom itself before you start using it in recipes, so that you don't screw up your recipes. I'm hoping that the kiwi takes off too, and I'm hoping that it was actually a kiwi. I wasn't sure, but she seemed pretty sure about kiwi. Oh, and something else. There's the boss I had until 2020 at the hospital, the manager. Her name is Tanya. She has a brother that's really deep into gardening as well, and he has a little garden here in my own village. It's called Les Jardins de Balmoral, so Balmoral's Gardens, and it's not really advertised. He doesn't really sell any. Well, he has a lot of cool stuff, and if you want to go there and buy some stuff, he will sell you some for sure. Um, but I had an email saved from him from 2022 where I asked him if he would be willing to do a little tour and explain what and why he's doing what he's doing, because he has a lot of shrubs and a lot of plants that are not necessarily common around here, like the stuff that people can't find. He could have it, like small trees, specific type of plants and things like that. And it turns out that this guy is kind of in partnership with the lady that gave me all those free plants. Good morning, Scott. And she's like, she thinks that he might have a male sea buckthorn shrub. So I sent him an email yesterday saying, hey, like I kind of not necessarily forgot, but didn't really have time to go for a visit in the last 2 years, because we have to make sure that he's actually there. He doesn't live in Balmoral. He lives in Campbellton. So it's a 20-minute drive, and he's not always necessarily there at the garden. But I said, if you're still up for it, let me know, and I'll go with my cameras and get the video going. And I'm looking for a male sea buckthorn shrub. And he replied saying, yeah, like I was just there. That's why it took me a while to get your email, but to reply to your email. But next time I go, I'll let you know. And if you want to come, we can do the tour. No problem. And yeah, I should have one of those sea buckthorn male. So I found 2 sea buckthorn males, and I'll have 2 females. Apparently they can spread very fast, so I will plant one of those 2 males behind my spruce. I have like a spruce line, and spruce tips are ready now, by the way. For most people, well, some of you it's probably past their prime, but here they're ready now. Jennifer, if it's something you're interested in, they're good to eat now. So that's kind of cool. I have so much going on, but I'm gonna have to find my hair grafting kit. I don't know where it is. Hopefully it's in my bedroom. I had it in my Jeep for a while, and I took it out when I went for the conference because I needed most of the space. So I probably brought it inside. I just have to find it now. I tend to bring stuff inside, and not to put the blame on my girlfriend, but sometimes she will take stuff that I leave somewhere and put somewhere and she forgets, or sometimes I just forget where I put stuff. So it's always an issue who took it and who lost it. Most of the time it's me, but sometimes it's not always me. So I just have to find that grafting kit and go get that done before it gets too warm today. We were expecting rain today, and we were not expecting any rain yesterday, but it's been raining most of the night. But then, around 9 o'clock, it was really, really nice. The rain stopped. There were no more mosquitoes, so we decided to have a little family fire going. And Alexa's officially done college, so we wanted to kind of celebrate that with her. But it was... We have some badminton rackets from Dollar Store, and you should have seen us. The June bugs are out. So we had a competition who would hit more June bugs. So they were out for about an hour. I hate those bugs. They're so disgusting. Like the sound they make, the crunch they make when you squish them. Ugh. And apparently they're very delicious, and a lot of people eat them, but I'm not going to eat them. Nope. If I find them, I can give them to my chickens, but I'm not going to eat them. But it was just fun to be out with the family last night. Have a small, just one drink. Well, I only had one drink because I was not scared. I didn't want to go inside. You don't see the June bugs. I'm like, oh, if I go in, I have to bring my racket and try to hit a few ones along the way. So I just figured, I mean, it's not a big deal even if I don't drink. It was so busy yesterday, like I didn't stop. Well, I went to Tim Hortons on my way back from the first nursery just to get a few Timbits. I ate a bunch of Timbits, and then I got back home in the afternoon. Um, I ate one of those Ritz snacks, the ones with cheese, and then I left. And by the time I came back home, it was around 9 o'clock. And just before we went outside, I cooked 2 hot dogs, and that's pretty much all I ate yesterday. And I wasn't hungry. Like, it's just the day went by. I drank some water and some Pepsi, and when I went outside at the fire, it was just like, okay, I'll just get the one beer, and um, I don't want to drink too much. I have an empty stomach mostly, and it was just a relaxing day, and it was all good. So now I have to go find that grafting kit, and I have to go do that for my dad. So I will let you go. Thank you so much, everyone, for stopping in. Hopefully, you enjoy my story. It's free food. Free food. That's what I got. A bunch of free food. So, like anywhere between 6 and 10 red currants shrubs, 6 yellow raspberries, 1 kiwi, 1 quince, 3 plum trees. Then I traded 1 for a mix of cherry and pear. The tree had both grafted on it, and yeah, it was an amazing day. So thank you everyone for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.